Okay guys, hello, welcome to my channel. For this YouTube video, I'm gonna share 5 tips for dating in 2024. I know how complicated the game out there is. I have been recently very hurt. I'm in the process of moving on. Cherry on top in terms of moving on from the situation that I went through is sharing it with you guys, bringing awareness. So at least there is one less person getting hurt out there and you guys can learn from my mistakes. In the battle between heart, mind, or your gut, what needs to win is actually your brain. Your mind should always win. Whenever you're having those battles in your head, just think logically. Make sure that you don't overeat and you don't go with your feelings and you go with your brain and what logically makes sense. Let's get started with this video. As I do my makeup for tonight's show, I am gonna share 5 tips for dating in 2024. So here we go. From actually personal true story experience. Here we go. So a couple months ago, I was in a situationship with a guy who honestly, personally, when I first started talking to him, I was not really interested and I should have stuck to my gut. And the lessons that I've learned from this experience truly about myself has been absolutely amazing. I don't ever say that somebody hurt me. I have shifted the way I talk and I say, I let that person hurt me. Because if I didn't care, it wouldn't have mattered. No matter whatever that guy would have done, it really truly wouldn't have mattered. I say that I let myself down through this process because before meeting this guy, I was actually in such a good state. I was keeping my diet, I was booked for so many gigs, and I was just super busy. Your prime time, you're actually at a place where you're so happy with yourself. And before I met this guy, that's where I was until I met him and went on a couple dates, I guess is what you want to call it, and things got a little bit messy. It truly broke my heart. The reason I knew how to handle myself, my emotions, is because obviously I had experience with breakups before. I know how to move on because I've done it before. But I would truly say that this hurt the most out of all my 2-3 years of relationships I've had with other people. Dating advice number 1. No situationships. Absolutely no situationships, you guys, because if a person says they're not ready, that is absolutely your cue to say goodbye. We can be in touch, but do not try to date me. Okay, do not try to be with me if you are not ready for a relationship. It truly does not matter how good you are to them. When a person is not ready, they're not ready. These advices are for everybody, no gender specific. Everybody goes through this and it could be either or side. I am also not here saying women are this, men are this. I am at peace and I do not want to put any labels, anything. There's all types of people out there. I am not here to say I haven't had my mistakes, but I'm also not here to label or spread this negativity about either of the genders. No situationships, because if they want you and they know that you are the one for them, they will make it happen. They will make time for you and they will make themselves ready. And simply, if they're not ready, they're not ready. There are situations where love wins, but there are scenarios, okay? There are scenarios where love could win, but just love itself is not enough. There needs to be so much self-respect that if somebody says they're not sure about you, or they say they're not ready, or they are just putting you in this situationship over and over again, there needs to be enough respect for you to absolutely move on. For example, I've seen a lot of women get married right after they graduate. And sometimes there are some timelines that you could follow in a way where you put those timelines. For example, somebody could tell you, I am gonna be getting this promotion by the end of May. And that's when I will be ready to commit to you fully, because I know that, for example, I'll be able to afford our dates. I will be able to give you more. I would be able to give you my 100%. You can say, hey, they gave me time until May. Since I have so much love and respect for this person, I will wait until May. For a person to just put you in a situationship and say, I don't know when I'm gonna be ready, that is hell for the person who is in this situationship with you. Do not do not ever commit or do not ever take anybody out if you are not, one, sure, two, not ready, and three, are not looking for a relationship. Unless the other person is also on the same page with you and you guys just want to have fun, whatever, that's none of my business. But if you're looking for a relationship and you know the other person is ready to commit and you're not, cut it right away, because the pain of after, of like couple times when you go out and you are with this person, is so much more than just like cutting it right there and saying, hey, listen, I'm not ready for this. Let's just, keep our distance. Let's just, just keep this connection, but from far away until maybe when I'm ready. But don't go out with them and act as a girlfriend and boyfriend. So that's my first advice. Okay, this hurts, but second thing is, don't get so excited in the beginning. Let the 3 months pass and then like fantasize and like plan and do whatever that you want to do. For me, honestly, I was ready for a relationship because I was working on myself for over 2 years after my recent relationship. That was in like 2021, I guess. I don't know. I was ready, and I was ready to go. Like, I worked on myself. I went to therapy. I fixed like relationships that I had with certain people. I got too excited and I planned things that I shouldn't have, which I almost took the role of a man in a situation that I shouldn't have. Before even we were dating or we were anything, I filmed our first dinner. Like, I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be playing at my wedding, da 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 da. Ooh. You do not meet the same person twice, and if you meet me again, that is not me ever again. I was taking Polaroids, I was like filming everything. I was just overly excited, too quick, and never ever, you heard it here, never ever get too excited, too attached, too like intensely obsessed with the person beginning of the first 3 months, because that is gonna dig you a hole, especially if you do not know this person and you're just starting to be with this person. And honestly, if you're watching this and you're not like in love and you're like, duh, Sarah, who the hell does that? You probably have never been in love. Okay, so just so you know that the first 3 months, just give it time. Also, as a woman, I would suggest that you date around. We were actually talking about this with my friend Nancy, and we were talking about how most girls, I can't say all, we commit so quickly, like especially us Armenian girls, like we give everything in the beginning. Like, we're like, okay, this is the guy, this is it, I'm gonna give my everything, I'm gonna do everything. And that's not right. That is the time where you need to be actually dating even more people to realize, do you even like this person? Is he competing with the other? I think when you are dating a person, it's good to also date other people, and I'm talking about the beginning stages, of course, obviously. Like, you get to compare a little bit and be like, oh, like this person, I didn't like this, so when this person did this, it's actually better. Like, you get to see the world a little bit more, and you get to see the world very differently from different aspects. And I think that is an okay thing to do before you commit to somebody, okay? If you're committed to somebody, don't do that. Next thing is, do not do too much in the beginning. Trust your instincts. Do not do too much, meaning don't take lunch, don't take coffee or something for this person. Especially as a woman, don't do too much. This is a time when you are just watching how this man is reacting to you, to his surroundings, to you, and to their family. Just observe. This is a time when you observe. You also never ask when is the next date. You also never plan a next date. You just relax and you just let the guy show you who they are. Trust your instincts whenever you meet that person, for sure, because I have done that and this is where I'm at. I am hurt. If you think that something's not it, it probably is not it. If you think something's not it, I'm gonna repeat it, it's probably not it, okay? I don't mean that don't show that you're interested. Of course, guys feed off of that. If you show that you're not interested, nothing's gonna happen. The guy is not gonna pursue, or the guy is gonna kind of take a step back as well. Show that you're interested, ask questions, really get to know them, but at the same time, do not do not do more than what you're supposed to. If you have to step out of your feminine energy to do things, it's not the one. I've learned that the hard way. Just sit back, relax, go with the flow, and see where he is taking you. And if he's taking you towards a situationship, you leave that situationship. Okay? I took him coffee and I was like, oh my god, like, let's go on a picnic, let's do this. I packed for the picnic, I got ready for the picnic, and mind you, I was so stressed, you guys, because there was just so much going on in my life. Handling 2 different fitness classes, having gigs, having to perform, having music videos. There was just so much going on in my life. I absolutely did have a major breakdown when it was all over. Most of it wasn't even because of this person. It was mostly because I was like, Sarah, why did you put yourself through this? Like, I was like so mad at myself. I was like, why would you do this to yourself when you're already super busy? You already crossed your boundary to make yourself available for this person. You got hurt at the end. Don't do it. Don't do it. Let the man show you who he is. Don't tell him who he is. Don't tell him what to do. Or even, especially guys, even for you guys, don't tell the girl what to do. Just observe and see if you like this person as this person or not. And if you don't, move on. Rejection in the beginning, that pain is not at all compared to the pain you're gonna feel if you go along with it and it doesn't work out because you didn't, 1, trust your instinct, and 2, you didn't finish what you knew was not gonna get anywhere. So take that advice. Do not rush or force things. Do not do that. Do not rush it. Do not force it. I was 2 years or about 3 years single, and I met this guy who I was truly attracted. After the second date, at first I didn't want to date him, but after the second date, I was like, oh, okay, like, I'm kind of actually like, I'm digging this. Like, I think it can go somewhere. And I was ready. Like, I was ready for a relationship. I wanted a guy in my life. I absolutely rushed. If you're seeing a lack of interest or lack of steps from the guy, take that as your sign to go and just date around. Like, if you're seeing that the guy is not really putting that effort that you're looking for, then just let it be and go find somebody who's gonna put that effort, who's gonna put that time, that dedication that you are looking for. Because by forcing them or by telling them you should have done this, you should have done that, I will tell you, you are only wasting your time. I've also seen this thing where it's like, if a guy is giving you, let's say, like 5, then maybe there's another person for him out there who would be okay with 5. But if you want 10, then you gotta go find somebody who's gonna give you 10, not somebody who's gonna give you 5, because somebody else might be okay with the 5. This is why some people, when they date, it doesn't work out, but then they go date somebody else in a couple, months, and it works out. And we're stuck with like wondering, how did they find a relationship so fast, or how did it work with this person? It's because that person only needed 5, but you didn't want 5. And that's okay. There's no right or wrong in either of the situations, but you just have to be mindful to catch yourself when these things happen. And again, I don't think our dating world is the easiest, but also do not fall into the BS of excuses and I'm not ready and situationships, because again, your future person would claim you right away. They would be excited for you and they would want to be with you right away, even if they're not ready. Number 5, do not introduce this person that you know for 1 to 2 months and you don't even have a relationship or any label. Do not introduce them to your friends or invite them to family gatherings, friends gatherings, or like your birthday or something, because still this person needs to prove to you that they belong in your world, that they deserve to be in your world, and that there's something that's gonna be going on. You do not want to invite them, even out of courtesy. Like, Armenians have this thing where we're like, oh, it's kind of embarrassing if you don't, like, this person's gonna get mad, sad, whatever. No, do not, especially if it's a situationship. It doesn't have a label, it doesn't have anything, because especially if you have feelings for this person and they come to your birthday or to your event, the whole time you are thinking about them. Could you dance with somebody else, either guy or girl? I don't know. Can you? Are you gonna make them jealous? Are you gonna put them in a bad situation? It's just like a lot of like mind game that goes behind it, where if you have an event and you do not have a label with this person, especially if you're friends and you have feelings for them, don't do it. And you guys, we're not in high school anymore. But whenever you are like in your 26, 27, it's an actual commitment. In about 15 years, I need to have a child, okay? Like I only have 5 more years to get married and I need to have children. For women, biological clock. For men, financial clock. I also find it hilarious how our generation is absolutely messing around and we're like blaming each other for it. Why do we need to make things complicated and literally blame it on this generation and blame it on social media just because we cannot find love? If I have this platform and there's one thing that I want to share with you, is that if you love somebody, tell them. If you're not ready, tell them. If you don't want to do it, tell them. If you're not sure of something, if you want to do, tell them. And if you yourself have self-respect, you would make sure that you make the best decision for yourself as the other person in this, I don't know, partner work, relationship, situationship, working with women who are a little bit older. I've always said that you could be as successful as you want in your life, the best job, but one of the biggest joys in life is having kids, finding your partner. And I truly believe in that because I work with ladies who've done life. So money can bring joy, but not necessarily the happiness that you're looking for. And you could be super, super happy about a degree that you have, about a job that you have. But I think as a woman, like for myself, one part of the joy in life or that happiness that everybody's chasing for is to have your own family and to have your own kids and to have your own partner and to like fall in love. And that's like one of my goals. Okay, you guys, I am all ready to go. Look, I curled my hair a little bit, half up, half down, so we can dance freely. So tonight there's a comedy show that I'm dancing at and also helping with the props. So I'm so excited because it's actually like the first Armenian rooftop theater show and it's comedy. So I'm just super, super excited. And with that said, I also want to share that my only goal of sharing this video and sharing dating tips is to help you and to share my mistakes that I've made in my mid-20s and to bring awareness to just really love and bring joy and kindness into each other's world. As cliche as this sounds, our people, our world needs it right now. This is just to bring awareness and share my experiences as a YouTuber and as a person who just wants to spread kindness in this world. If you like this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe, and stay tuned for my next videos.